What is going on, Roland Empire? Here, guys, to give you a video, just a review of a talk of just a film that, at this point, you got to know the movie within itself. I'm like, it is funny. It is so funny in the sense that I'd be doing a review, but you know what? I'm doing this review for the sake of also just it's that time of year. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. What not just talk about it and just give it out. Just give out. Just enjoy anything that I like. So this is the Halloween review. This is Halloween right here. That poster, that version, and I just want to start out with just saying this is a movie that I'm glad I've had the pleasure of seeing it in theaters, getting that tone, getting that atmosphere, that mood and atmosphere that I love. I've always seen it growing up, just this one or the sequels. I've seen various versions, but to get the actual authenticity of the film and then just knowing like what however you portray this franchise, it could be a one-off, it could be a whole franchise. I like it both ways, but also just seeing it myself personally, seeing it myself, like realizing like you know I'm to an extent enjoy thrillers and stuff. I like thrillers when it's done right for my take at the very least. But this one, when it just came out, I was just like, oh man, seriously, like the way it just catches you with the first shot of Michael and realizing, whoa, he was a kid, and then now going as an adult now, having him be like the catchphrase says the night he came back, and all that stuff, and just realizing just the tone that is set. So kudos to just John Carpenter and the crew that assembled, the cinematography, the way, the things that are just put together, just the tone of how the music plays out, the directions he chose, the styles, just very feels like it's interesting to see it because it's like a lot of films now, as they should, have made their own imitation inspiration of certain kind of like beats that goes on in this movie. But this movie, wasn't like the one that pioneered the first time everything, but it set a certain tone that I just understand. I really enjoy just how everything is built up. So how they do, all these suspense, everything also with a lot of the films fall after that of this failed to do is the suspense, and the suspense with the whole like the lighting, how natural like listic it feels, how composed shots are built. That's the stuff I just enjoy. I like that stuff. So it's basically just me like geeking out what I love of this. But hey guys, it's just this is my defense of why I enjoy the movie. But like what I like about all this stuff, okay, there are things I will get at, and admit, it could feel a bit outdated. Certain shots, could have been better. It's just like you even see maybe some of the goofs that goes on in this movie. But still, I like the whole. It's a very low indie budget film. It really feels very raw, authentic. Definitely raw and authentic. I like that. But again, what everything builds upon, whether it's just it's the production that Deborah Hill brought. It's what Dean Cunding brought with the cinematography. What again John Carpenter composed and directed just sets the tone. Like the characters, you might think they could have been better written, but I like that. Like at the very least, they felt very real of a human, and I at least cared enough that I'm like they're good friends. They're all Now it's become the cliche tropes, but they each have a role of like the cool kid, the kid that just does all the homework. There's certain beats like that, and for like them being built, I care. I care at the very least. Like they felt honest, they felt genuine, and once you see what happens in the third act with finally Michael getting in through various other houses, uh, there's Tommy's house, then there's the basically Lindsay and Tommy's house where Annie and Lori are, and Michael just goes through all that. How we just it builds up and having layers of like it's funny how to say how they're brother and sister, but also it could just be like this could be a coincidental by fate kind of movie. You might think when Lori just leaves the key at the Myers house, that kind of cements what's gonna go on, certain things. But before I just go steer one way, I just want to get back to how it layers out everything. It's all just coincidence of how Michael just stalks everybody, and how you get to the whole like how it eerie and how it gets to your skin and chills of seeing like stalking various people, and how it leads to just getting to the point when he goes through one of the houses, gets, through, certain angles of how he lurks and all that, and how he visualizes stuff, and it's all just chills. And then seeing him take out one by one the people, that eventually leads to Jamie Lee, having the curiosity of her checking around, and then it gets to, she gets to the house, she realizes on her own that, something's fishy. And then how it plays with you, like Michael coming down the stairs and then having him, revealed himself. That is one of the most iconic, one of my favorite scenes. Definitely one of my favorite scenes of this franchise, of just movies in general. So there's like a lot to take in. Like, it's interesting, guys. You would think I wanted to go beat for beat, but I'm just kind of laying out how I love this franchise. I had an earlier review of this when, a certain time ago that I did, but then I was like, I want to do an updated version. It's fine. Some things might change opinion with, some things might stay the same, but it's fun to just every now and then get people to come in to just see what I think of this kind of film, precisely, especially this time of year. This time of year, what a perfect way to release these. And the film just, every time I see it, I'm always at the edge of my seat. I'm always suspense. I like the chill that it has, setting in the location, making it look almost like it's, like a fall atmosphere. And again, guys, just like, it, you can look back on the film realizing what it is now, and realizing, oh, he was probably doing these kinds of decisions of like, why these particular group of friends did he stalk and all that. But also it might also just be like, it's a coincidence. You're at the place at the time. I don't want to say it's like wrong or right, depending how you see it, but you're at that place, and those are the consequences. And again, this is like, like between just Laurie and Loomis, the boogeyman and stuff, and having them with Michael, those three, like, the movie holds its ground, okay, like I told you, the characters that it has, but the way it circles between those three, just, man, it's good to know that, like, how it's interwoven, how Loomis, needs to find Michael, but then Michael is just hunting these people. It's a really like, a hunting of each kind of thing, like one's hunting the other. That's just the core of like what the original film was. It's like, I'm not trying to say that every franchise or like every film should have a certain standard to this, but there's some of the, roots that I'm like, they're very crucial. And sometimes the other ones bring them in. I'm like, that was good. That was good. But this film entire is what, is what Halloween is about. And, the movie is just, it really is intriguing. And that's why, who would think that, like production wise and all that, like, it's just still one of the good movies, because it did what it was supposed to do. It did what it was supposed to do, and I just appreciated that, like, even if some things are stronger than the other, they all complement one another, also from a technological point. And then from the acting ones, from the humans and all that, I do like that just, we have enough backstory, and again, with the acting, realizing, like, the background that's presented, it's sold with the acting. That's what makes it so believable. And yeah, you always have a piece of enjoyment of the film. There's something always really, psychological, very psychological, and interesting, and definitely like intriguing to know that, just, you get something out of it. Okay, whether, yeah, it's a story that, it's enough. It's like the hero's journey. It's the hero's journey, but not saying this is one. But it's like, if you took that and, like, just, made it as clever as you can. They did this, something that was so simplistic with this, of the story, and just, they rode with it. They gave it its nuances, its layers, to just kind of be like, like, make you pay attention, make you realize that every frame you're seeing is worth the price of admission. And it's just something that I really just, I just enjoy, and I always like, I just like the film for like what it represents, what I enjoy. Guys, yes, it is one of the better movies. It is a really enjoyable film. You really invest so much to really care. And if I have to do a grading with this, guys, I gotta say, I gotta give Halloween an A+. Let me know, guys, if you happen to not like the movie, or if you do like the movie. Give me your favorites of the franchise. Tell me how much you just enjoy this. Again, guys, these are my thoughts and opinions. And yeah, I really enjoyed the film. So all this in the comments below. And as always, roll an empire. Laugh, smile, repeat.